without destiny. They are looking for title without entitlement. And then you see a lot of people in church, when they come into church, they are so committed, they are so faithful because they are moving towards a target, a goal. When they now get to a place where you now say, we are ordaining you as a pastor, ordaining you as a deacon or a deaconess or a minister, you suddenly realize that a lot of people are faithful and fruitful until they are endorsed. The very minute you now ordain them as a pastor, they become useless. Because now they have achieved what they came to achieve. So now I'm a pastor, at least I cannot be unpastored. I'm already a pastor, so what else? I'm in the fivefold ministry. They can't sack pastor. So they now get there and they enter into what I call maintenance mode. Why? Because after pastor, what else? Do you understand? Every other thing is title. So once you have entered, what else? So you now get there, and now because people have now gotten to a place where they have become useless to themselves, frustrated, they now say, what else can I do to make me feel as if I'm moving forward? They now start acquiring titles. So you now become from pastor to reverend to reverend doctor to bishop to apostle to apostle. They now begin to look for, we will soon have Pentecostal post very soon. And it's all a function of lack of destiny, because they misquoted spiritual maturity and commitment in the house of God for destiny. And have you noticed that all over the world, majority of the people that are title conscious are black people? Think of how many bishops you know today, they are all black. It's still slavery mentality. That slavery mentality of their ancestors. Bishop this, bishop that. Look for a Billy Graham, is Billy Graham. Look for a Kenneth Hagin, is Brother Hagin. But look for churches, all the bishop this, bishop that, is still slavery mentality. Because somewhere inside them, something tells them you are inferior to the white man. So you need to have something to show them that you too, you are somebody. So you come up, and sometimes I sit down and I wonder, say, these guys, they are the one who they are pastoring thousands of people, but they themselves need deliverance. And that's the problem of the church. Because if the head is rotten, what will the body look like? And most of the time, they are too big to be taught. They don't come to a meeting like this to listen to a small boy like me, because they feel they already know everything. Hello? So most of the time, you cannot behave contrary to what you are taught. People become what they are taught. People respond to what they are taught. And most of the time, the reasons why a lot of pastors and ministers only emphasize you being committed in the church is because of their insecurity and their desire to control your life. So they know that, okay, as long as I'm the GO here, if they are anything, they are still under me. So they don't want to release you to go and discover your destiny, because many of them don't have what it takes to pastor greatness. And that's why you see that in a lot of churches, we have pastors that are pastoring people that are desiring to be a pastor. And if you are a pastor pastoring people desiring to be a pastor, you are still above them. But as we move into the deeper dimension of the 21st century, we are now going to have pastors that are pastoring greatness. Where you are sitting down and the governor is a member, but you recognize I'm the pastor, but in the field of politics, he is the governor. Where you are sitting down and a Tiger Woods is a member, a David Beckham is a member, a Beyonce is a member, and they are all generals in their own field. But when they come to church, they recognize in this church thing, this is our spiritual father, we listen to him. But when it comes to music, you listen to them. Hello? Are we getting that? So how do I now discover my destiny? I will now start from the church, because that's the primary place. So I'm not speaking against you being a choir or usher. No, that's where you start. That's the foundation of all things. But that's not the end. So now I will take you from the general to the specific. Number one. In order to discover God's destiny for your life, you have to begin by fulfilling God's general destiny for all believers. So you start from the general to the specific. Now, what do I mean by that? In 1 Peter 2, 9 and 10, he said, we are a chosen generation, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a peculiar people. We are being called out of darkness into his marvelous light. So every born again Christian is called. We have all been called out of darkness into the light of God. Do you understand that? Now, that calling is in twofold. When you look at the Bible in the book of Exodus, when Moses went to Pharaoh to let my people go, he said two things, which are the two general purposes of all believers. He said, let my people go that they may serve me. Let my people go that they may worship me in the wilderness. So every child of God is called to worship and called to serve. That's the general call of God upon all of us. So when you don't need to be a pastor, you don't need to be anything. Once you are inside the church, you are part of the kingdom, you have a general calling to worship and to serve. Now in worship, it simply means you worship him with your time, your talent, and your treasure. Those are the three dimensions of worship. So worship is not music. Worship is not slow song and fast song. You know when we come to church? He is a miracle working God. He is a miracle working. He is a miracle working. No. That's not praise and worship. Do you understand? Praise and worship has nothing to do with the fastness or the slowness of the song. Worship is not a tempo. Do you understand that? Worship is the thing of the heart. Those that worship him in spirit and in truth. So now, when he says we are called to worship, it means we come into the kingdom and we recognize that worth-ship. We recognize his worth in our life and we give him the lordship, the rulership over our life. That's what worship is all about. So when you come, you realize that now that I'm in this kingdom, my time does not belong to me. He gave me 24 hours. I will worship him and use the 24 hours to honor him. So whatever he wants to be done in my time takes priority in my time. That's worship. Number two, my talent. Whatever gift or talent or ability I have, now that I am in the church, I use it to worship him. So even though I have the ability to sing and to play the instrument, he gave me the ability. So if the church needs it, I will give it to the church. That is why I personally have problem with people that come into church to use their gift as a job instead of a calling. That's why I have problem with paying instrumentalists, paying keyboardists, paying drummers. That's why I have problem with paying people. Just because you are carrying camera, I should now pay you. That gift you have to carry the camera was given to you by God. You go and make money in the world, then you use it to serve God free in the church. But now when you have a keyboardist and a drummer that is coming because of salary, it's not coming to worship God, it's coming to his office. Just the way you go to post office to work or you go to underground to work, he's also coming to office. So whether he listens to message or not, is not his business. You now discover that many of the people that are instrumentalists, keyboardists, drummers, and all these technical people, many of them that do not understand calling and purpose, they are very carnal and unserious with God. They don't have a Bible, they don't have notes. So whenever you come, once it's their time, the way choir will climb, but they will just go play. When they finish, they say, yeah, you do your own. They can go outside and start smoking. You are a pastor. You are a pastor. Hello? They can go outside and start smoking because as far as they are concerned, you just need to play the keyboard. I don't need to follow your God. I'm here for my own job. My God. And then they ask for increment of size. So it's not. They are not Christians. They are not serious people. But you see, as a pastor, you are frustrated. So you have no choice but to pay them sometime because you need the music to be good. Because nobody is willing to serve God. And that's why many people will get to heaven to discover that God is no more happy with them. That's if you even make it to heaven. Because if you see the church as a source of making money and collecting a salary, your mind will be close to creativity of making money out there. But you're supposed to be a manager in the studio out there. You're supposed to be an instrumentalist making your money there. Then when you come to church, you come and honor him with that gift. Hello? And that's why you see a lot of people not succeeding when they decide to go solo. Many of the choir members, when they now decide to release their own album, nobody is buying. Because they have not sown enough into the body of Christ. CC Winers has been a member of the same church for over 30 years. She's still a member. Even though she's the greatest. When she gets back to church, she goes there. She can't be asking for money. Ron Kenoli. All these people, even Kirk Franklin, ask the same pastor. All these people you see succeeding, the domains of this world, they are not people without a pastor. They are not vagabonds roaming around looking for where the latest money will be paid. They have a local church where they serve God with their gift, where they watch Israel Orton, Mata Munizi. All these people you see, you want to become like them. You can't become like them because you are not serving like them. They have served for 10, 15 years free of charge. Not that they are collecting, they are just worshiping God. Then God now say, now I want to bless you. They release one album, they go worldwide. And there are people that have released 20 albums. Nobody knows them in their local government. So what's worship? Your time, your talent, and then your treasure to worship God. So your time, your talent, then your money. Use it to serve God. Tithe, offering. Hello? You see, listen to me, people of God. I'm so amazed that people in the church think that their money belongs to them. I'm so amazed. When everything is well with you, you forsake the church. When you have a problem, you want the church to come and pray for you. You have turned us into a prayer contractor. Hello? So your time, your talent, and your treasure belongs to God. When you begin to worship Him with it, that's a general thing. So paying tithes doesn't make you special. It's your tax. That you're a taxpayer. Doesn't everybody's tax. So that's your own tax in the kingdom. Listen to me. The UK today is in great debt upon all the tax they are collecting. They collect it from you by force. And yet, they don't have money. Now, that is the one that's... Now, how do you now expect the church to survive? Tithe is our own tax. But God is now saying, bring it willingly. I won't take it by force. You refuse to bring. The government you have given your tax to by force, they still couldn't help you. We that can help you, you won't give us our own tithe. JJ, you still want to chop our tithe again. So if you are not paying tithe, you are not a worshiper. You are a watcher, an observer. Hello? So that's worship. Now, what is service? General now. Service is now making sure that wherever there is a need, you make yourself available to meet that need. So when we now say we need people in children's church, you just go there because you want to serve God. Whether you have experience or not, say, Pastor, I'm available, sir. I heard you say you need people in children's church. What am I supposed to do? Can you teach me what to do? Then they will do a training for you, put you there. Oh, we need people in the technical department. Whether you know about buttons or you go there, they will tell you, okay, all you need to do is just press this button, press. And that's it. You are now serving God. And so we need people as ushers. I've never done ushering before. Don't worry, we'll train you. Come, they tell you just stay, smile, welcome people, lead them. And that's all. That is service. Being available to meet every need in the house of God. Availability. Do you understand? So now, once you realize that there is a general purpose of God and there is a specific purpose of God, you start with the general and you move into the specific. In Ecclesiastes 9:10, the Bible says, whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might, your heart, your soul, because you are going to end up in the grave one day and God will ask you, what did you do with your life? Because when you look at the Bible, you see that in the Old Testament and the New Testament, the general purpose of God was validated. Let my people go that they may worship me in the wilderness. Let my people go that they may serve me. When you come into the New Testament, he says, thou shalt love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul. That's worshiping God. Your heart, your soul, your might. That's time, talent, treasure. Everything is in there. And your neighbor and yourself. Thou shalt worship the Lord your God, and him only shall thou serve. So you see, worship and service. So the general is there, both Old Testament and New Testament. So now that you are worshiping God and you are serving him, Ecclesiastes 9:10 now says, whatever you have finds to do, do it. So if they say usher, usher well. They say you are in greeter, greet well. You are in technical, technical well. Children's church, children well. You are in choir, choir well. Now, whatever they put you in, you are doing it well. Now listen, this is how you now discover your specific purpose. You discover your specific purpose by being faithful in the general purpose. So as you are faithfully serving God and worshiping God, and you are maturing in the church, you just suddenly begin to discover that I think I am more of a technical person. I think I am more of a choir person. And then you now enter into that specific purpose.